Welcome to the Lose Your Big Ass Stomach podcast. I'm your host, Jay Jackson, and my mission here is to help you get rid of that big ass stomach and take back control of your health so that you can look and feel your best by being the best version of yourself, mentally and physically, while destroying the mediocre agenda society is trying to brainwash you into, and breaking our families' generational curses of being unhealthy by being a healthy and fit role model. It's time to set a new standard. It's time to set a new standard of living. If you find the podcast helpful, be sure to hit that follow button because that helps us build a movement. Let's go.
Guys, one of the biggest issues that I see in the fitness industry today is so many of y'all that I see have a lot of potential, man. A lot of potential. You lose that stomach, you can lose the weight, and so you can live the life that you want. Enjoy life with your family, be that positive role model for your kids, and just live worry-free. At least you don't have to worry about your health and the way you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like your energy and all that stuff. And so I want to illustrate a point because I talk to a lot of folks in the DMs, and I see a lot of y'all are fearful of investing in coaching, fearful of change, and it's holding you back, man. This is by far one of the biggest. Some of y'all, you had a workout plan, you had a meal plan, but you're just too fearful. And so I want to illustrate a point, man, because growing up, believe it or not, y'all, I lived with my granddad and his two sisters. I was kind of like the family kid growing up. You know, I ain't stay with my mom or dad. And y'all, if y'all been listening to my story, y'all hear about me talking about my granddad who passed away when he was 46 years old. He had sleep apnea. He was my road dog, man. That's how I got into looking at the Wolverine and looking at X-Men and Marvel and all this kind of stuff. That was my guy. But at 46 years old, he ended up having a heart attack because he had gained so much weight, man. And so this is one of the reasons I got so passionate about doing what I do now with helping y'all. You know, he had that big old ass stomach. You know what I'm saying? He was overweight, but we looked at him as the provider of the household. And when he passed away, it just seemed like a domino effect. It just seemed like everybody, both of his sisters ended up passing away too, you know? And when I was around about 12, 13 years old, I ended up moving with my dad for the first time. And around that time, because I hadn't lived with my parents, I developed this sense of like anxiety. Like I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to let them down. I didn't want to let my mom down. I didn't want to let my dad down. I don't know if y'all ever felt like that, where you just, you know, you admire your parents and you want to do the best you can to make sure they're proud of you. You know what I'm saying? And that was me. But, you know, throughout my journey and my years of, you know, growing up, I found myself having a lot of failures. You know what I'm saying? I was, you know, working out to go to the NFL, and I found myself not even getting a scholarship. You know, I played football. I was starting running back in high school. I didn't even get a scholarship, man. And, you know, I seen other buddies of mine on the football team getting scholarships, and I'm like, damn, man, I ain't make my parents proud. I ain't make my dad proud. All this working out we did, all this, you know, paying a personal trainer and all this kind of stuff, it didn't pay off, you know, and so I felt like I was a failure, you know what I'm saying? Even though I had tried hard, man, I was working out like, almost like a pro athlete, as much working out as I was doing, but then it didn't pan out. You know, I didn't get a scholarship. And so I ended up walking on in college, walked on at Georgia State University. And if I go back even more, man, it's more failures in there. But, you know, I didn't get a scholarship. So I walked on at this junior college in Arkansas. It was going really well. They were planning on starting me the second year, but I wanted to get back home to Atlanta. And so I found myself applying to go to Georgia Tech. Got in contact with a couple of the coaches. And so I withdrew from that junior college, even though it was a promising future, to come back home to Atlanta to go to school at Georgia Tech. I was accepted and all that good stuff. You know, I got the acceptance letter and everything. A couple of days before school actually started, classes actually started at Georgia Tech, I'm like, damn, I don't even have my housing. So I went up to Georgia Tech. Turns out, whatever paperwork they sent me, it wasn't actually true. I wasn't accepted. And so, you know, I'm like, damn, why did I withdrew from a great opportunity and now I can't even go to Georgia Tech? And so I'm like, shit, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? And so I found myself applying to Georgia State, didn't get in. I'm like, damn, you know, didn't have enough credits to get into Georgia State. And so I went to a junior technical college, community college out here in Atlanta, got my credits up, reapplied, and got in the second time around. And then I was already training, and I found myself doing the first year playing football at Georgia State because I walked on. And after I stopped playing football, it was like the air let out of my life. I went into a depression because that was my whole identity. Being able to get to the NFL, to take care of my family, take care of the people I love and care about. And that was like one of the biggest letdowns in my life. You know, I worked years I was working out from like 13, 14 years old all the way up to like 18, 19, 20, 21 years old for football. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't work out. And so I say all this to say, I've had my share of failures too. And I've had many, many more. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, so I found myself finding a new purpose in fitness. I found a new purpose of wanting to help people who may be experiencing or have people that they love and care about experiencing the same type of things that I experienced growing up. My granddad having a heart attack, passed away at 46 years old because of his weight. His sister named Louise, you know, she was my road dog, man. Like after my granddad passed away and his other sister Annette passed away, Louise ended up passing away from type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes, that's lifestyle related. That's some shit that you can completely avoid if you eat, if you make better decisions with what you eat. If you start moving a little bit more. You know, some of you guys, y'all nearing type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes. You could change those things, man. Because once that happened, once she passed away, man, it seemed like we would have these get-togethers and these meetings, like it would be cars on top of cars in the neighborhood. Everybody would come and eat food at the house because of Louise and my granddad and Annette. Once all three of them passed away, it just seemed like our family get-togethers just stopped altogether. I'm just like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of this no more. You know what I'm saying? But my whole point behind this is this. We're going to go through failures. All right? Everybody. You have people who they fear the failure of, you know, maybe I don't want to invest in this coach. Or maybe I don't want to try to lose weight because it might not work. Right? But then you have people who have those same fears, but they do it anyway. This is the difference between the people who win and the people who lose. The people who lose are the people who feel that tension, that fear, and they don't do anything. The people who win, we feel the same shit. We feel the anxiety. We feel the pressure. We feel the fear, but we do it anyway. The people who win, we just feel that fear and we go through it anyway. We fail a lot more than people who don't fail because they don't try. So the people who do end up winning, we've just failed so many times. The time that the people who failed, who didn't do shit, they thinking about it and they thinking about it for months, if not years. The people who winning, we done failed at the shit 3, 4, 5 times, and we done got to the point where we winning. because we done figured out what things didn't work and what things do work, and we start doing more of the things that do work. Guys, listen. I want to illustrate this point. I had been doing in-person training for like 10, 11 years. You know what I'm saying? I loved it. I had some great in-person clients. And like folks who love me. Like I couldn't even stop them from paying my ass. And I'm talking about top dollar. Y'all ever be talking about how much I be charging with coaching? That shit ain't nothing compared to in-person training. I was charging folks $750, $1,000, $1,500 a month. And it was like, hey Jay, just go ahead and run my car early. I know the holidays coming up. Go ahead and run my car early. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about that type of shit. But, you know, I say all that to say I didn't see that being my long-term future. And so I had to figure out a new vehicle because I didn't want to be waking up at 4:30 in the morning training folks at 5 a.m. all the way to 10 p.m. I just didn't have the environmental freedom that I wanted. And it wasn't a very leverageable career to be in because, you know, people wanted to be trained with me. You know what I'm saying? It's only one me, even though I had hired trainers at one point. But I'm like, everybody want that Jay Jackson experience. And it's only so much you could charge. Like, shit, I could charge $2,000 a month, but shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not going to want to do that. And even the clients who were really good clients, they didn't have it like that, but they could drop a good $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month or whatever. And so I went on this journey to try to figure out the whole online coaching aspect of things. And at the time you're making this podcast, shit is popping. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, the audience is growing. We over 120-some thousand on Instagram. The YouTube growing. Like, right now, starting to grow the YouTube channel. We close to hitting like 3,800 subscribers on YouTube. It's growing every day. Same thing over there on Facebook. We're about to hit 200-some episodes on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? And before I've gotten to this point, dog, I went through a whole lot of failures. Like, y'all talk about being scared and getting scammed by one trainer. Man, try 6 or 7 different coaches. And I'm not talking about no little bit ass $1,000 for a coach, or $2,000 for a coach, or $500 for a coach. I'm talking about I'm investing my hard-earned money from my in-person training for a vision and a dream that I had of being able to help thousands, if not millions of people. And I would invest in a coach, and I remember my first investment that I made into a coach. I was afraid. I was super afraid. My hands were shaking because I had never invested in a mentor, you know. And so I'm thinking that all this type of shit was scams back then. And the guy seemed very genuine. I seen the results of other people, and the guy was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be $6,000." And my heart just started speeding up. I'm like, "Oh shit!" And I'll never forget. I'm like, I got a little quiet, and I was like, "All right, can you take like multiple different cards?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, sure." And I was like, "All right, man. How quickly do people tend to, make money back?" Because and I was just being transparent with them. Some of y'all I might talk to some folks who jump on these game plan calls with me, and some folks just hang up the call or whatever, which that tells me a lot about folks' character. But I went ahead and told them, I was like, "Listen, man, I want to make this work, but I got to use different cards." And so you got to learn how to articulate your thoughts. You can't just continue to run away from things that you might fear. If you don't, just because it might not be in your finances, you got to explain yourself. You got to express yourself, especially if it's something that you really want. And so I went ahead and told him, I was like, "Look, man, I'm putting some on a credit card, some on a debit card. And we got to make this shit work, man." He was like, "Look, I got plenty of guys and women in my program. It works." And so invested in the program, 6-7 months in, and I was still doing in-person training at this time. And but it kind of like when Facebook ads came out, I was one of the first trainers in Atlanta to start using Facebook ads. Blew up my company, blew up my in-person training, but I didn't really care for the in-person training, so I needed a new vehicle. And so I scaled back, got rid of both of my trainers, and so I started investing in other business coaches. And I'm talking about 4, 5, 6 different business coaches. Some would work, some wouldn't work, and I'm just like program hopping. And I'm just like, damn, man, I spent so much money, but I don't really have no results to show for it in my bank account. So I'm frustrated. I'm like, damn, is this shit just not meant for me? Like, folks rock with me on social media. Folks like my energy. They like my charisma. Well, why my shit ain't working, but everybody else shit is? You know what I'm saying? Why everybody else social media popping off? And this is why I talk to y'all so much about being consistent, staying prayed up, and just being authentically you. Because a year and a half ago, I stumbled across my now business coach. Probably one of the biggest investments it was the biggest investment I've ever made in business coaching. It was a 5-figure investment. And I'm not talking about no $10,000, $15,000. It's more than that. And so I'm like, I see the results. You know what I'm saying? Some of these folks, some of the trainers and coaches y'all see on social media, they coach them. So I'm like, all right, I know this shit work. So I invested in the program, even though I was very fearful of doing it because it's a lot of money. I'm like, damn, I could go get me a house, couple of properties with this amount of money that I'm investing in the program. You know what I'm saying? And I went ahead and did it anyway because I had a bigger vision. I'm like, man, if this thing scale up the way I see it scaling up, shit, I'll be in a way better situation to, have that freedom to be able to work full time online and help people and completely step away from, in person and help more people. Because when I was in person, I was like, damn, man, I like helping my clients, but I want to have a bigger impact. And I had already been using online coaching. It's kind of like a hobby. And my classes online was getting better results than my people in person, because the people in person, they just liked the accountability, but they wasn't following the nutrition plan that I was giving them. But the people online, they was running the play in all aspects. The folks who was doing it, they was getting results. Like one of my guys named John Thomas. Homie dropped 48 pounds in 4 months. I never seen homie a day in my life. I gave him the plan, with the training and nutrition, held him accountable. Homie dropped 48 pounds in 4 months. And he started talking about how his wife can't keep her hands off of him. He went and bought a basketball goal and put it in the backyard to hoop with his boy because he got so much more energy now. And it just lit my brain up. It was just like, it was like Christmas lights were going off inside my head. I'm like, whoa, I can make this type of an impact on people's lives from doing this. And so, you know, long story short, I went full time after about a year of being in my now current online coaching program with my business coach. And that came from overcoming my fear of, damn man, I really don't want to invest all this money, but I did it anyway. And over this past year, my following on Instagram literally went from 30-something thousand to over 20-something thousand. You know what I'm saying? Clients getting transformations left and right, 25 pounds, 30 plus pounds, 50 plus pounds. You know what I'm saying? And that's because I didn't allow my fear to hold me back. And I also didn't allow my failures up to that point hold me back. See, a lot of y'all, you may go through different trainers and coaches, and then you just get the buckets. You go, I don't want to do no more. I don't want to do no more. Imagine if I would have stopped at business coach number 3, I wouldn't even be here. If I would have stopped at business coach number 5, I wouldn't be here. Y'all wouldn't be rocking with me. Some of y'all wouldn't even know me on Instagram, and on podcasts, and on Facebook, on YouTube. You wouldn't know me, man, because I would have quit. You see what I'm saying? But this is what happens when you don't quit. Shit gets better. This is what happens when you don't have the fear of, and even if you do have the fear, just don't do nothing, because doing nothing is also a choice. And there's consequences of doing nothing. You want to know what consequences are? To me, a consequence of doing nothing would have been, damn, what's my life going to look like a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if I don't figure this shit out? If I don't figure out how to get this online thing to really work? Maybe I still do in-person training and I just be like, damn, what if? Or maybe I go into a whole nother career that I'm just like, damn, man, I don't feel the fulfillment that I really want. I'm just not happy as I really want to be. You know what I'm saying? That's regret. It's consequences. For some people with weight loss, and you have that fear of not investing in that coach, not buying that nutrition program, not buying that book, not investing in that course. A year go by, weight then went up even more. You got health issues. You went from having just high blood pressure to type 2 diabetes. I've seen this shit, y'all. People message me and DM me this kind of stuff all the time. Like, it's thousands of people on my social media. It happens all the time. This was a couple months ago. Guy, he leaving the hospital. He like, man, Cole, man, I'm over here crying, sitting in tears, man. I think the doctor said something about him having type 2 diabetes and something about to have to happen to him. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I just remember him telling me, man, I'm over here crying right now, man. I should have went ahead and got started. And that's a real thing, y'all. Like, and other consequences, your happiness, your peace of mind. Some of y'all, you in marriages and your marriage not thriving the way you want to because you don't have the energy. You don't have the body. You don't have the capacity to do the things that maybe you used to do that brought joy to your family. Maybe you don't have the energy and the presentation to be a positive and healthy role model for your kids. Those are consequences of allowing your fear to hold you back. But if you go through that type of pain of doing nothing when you experience fear, why not get a reward for the pain you go through? Why not go ahead and do the shit anyway, and at least if you go through pain, you can get a reward from it. At least if you do a program and let's say it don't work, what did you learn? Damn, you know what? I learned I can't work out every day like no bodybuilder. You learned the lessons. Like, guys, when I went through all those different business coaches, I learned lessons. I said, I can't invest in no coach who ain't got no before and after, no testimonials, because I did that, $6,000. I can't invest in no coach who don't have no following, because if I need a following, this motherfucker don't know how to teach me how to grow a following. Not doing that no more. You see what I'm saying? I can't invest in no business coach who not showing up authentically. They just being the goody two shoes on social media instead of being themselves. Can't do that, because that means I can't be myself on social media, because I'm following their lead. They teaching me. You see what I'm saying? And so I gotta rock with a coach who's gonna show up authentically. Okay? And as I started learning these things, that's how I came across the coach that I have now. I'm like, this motherfucker authentic. He real, he raw. He ain't holding nothing back. He's sharing his stories. He's sharing before and after photo. He's sharing his client stories too. You know what I'm saying? He getting results. He got a big following. Shit popping. I'm like, why would I not invest in this? And so you learn lessons while you going through your failures. The people who winning, we going through failures, man. But we just moving way faster than the motherfuckers that's just so fearful to not make a step. Because even if you do make a step, that still don't mean your ass ain't gonna fail. It just means you don't get a chance to learn the lesson. And so you way behind of everybody else who making failures. Boom, boom, boom. We done failed 3 times. And now we figure out what don't work, and now we just that much closer to things that do work. and then we'll be at a certain place and people be look, damn, how did they get there? Oh hell no, man. Money ain't everything. Oh, you got that, having 6-pack ain't everything. But you don't know all the failures that this person done been through. You don't know all the pressure and the character building that this person done been through. You don't know all the discipline that this person had to develop. You don't know all the folks who was hating on them and shaming them. Because a lot of folks who be losing weight in my coaching program, folks be shaming them. Oh, why you gotta do that little workout plan? Oh, why you gotta do that? Oh, you think you better than everybody else? We don't think we know better than nobody else. We just been through way more bullshit than what your ass decided to go through, because we didn't allow our failures to hold us back. We invested in that coach. We took our ass to the gym. We ate properly, and we did it consistently. And the more you do these things, guys, this is how you win. Y'all see it all on social media and looking at these pro athletes. You see Michael Jordan talk about, man, I missed 900-something thousand shots, but I kept shooting anyway, or some shit like that. We going through failures, but we still showing up. And so if you gonna have that fear of failure, do it anyway. If you truly a winner. If you identify yourself as a winner, do it anyway. If you identify yourself as a loser, shit, you gonna do what losers do. They feel their failure and they never get started. But if you're a winner, and that's who I'm talking to right now, the folks who want to win, winning is a habit. Even if you had a habit of being fearful and did nothing, you can change that habit. And you could change the habit to, man, you know what? I have a little bit of anxiety about investing in that coaching program. I have a little bit of fear about getting started on my weight loss journey. Let me change my habits. If I'm going to go be a winner, I got to do what winners do. If I want to be a winner, if I want to win at life, if I want to win at business, if I want to win at my health and fitness, if I want to win in my relationships, there's going to be fear. Because all these other folks who I aspire to, and people who admire me, they going through the same type of emotions as me. The only difference is they doing something about it. The folks who ain't doing shit about it, they don't get nothing. All right. But anyway, hopefully y'all found this podcast helpful. If you did, be sure to hit the follow button. Leave your boy a 5-star rating so we continue to grow this movement. And we out of here. Let's go.
Yo, appreciate you for tapping in and listening to the podcast episode today. Hopefully you found it valuable. And if you did and you want to learn more about how I can help you lose the big ass stomach, transform your body, and get your health on point, DM me real results over on Instagram at JJacksonOfficial for more information. And I'll reach back out to you to do what I can to help you hit those health and fitness goals. Let's get it.